We're continuing on fixing the volunteer DAL. We have the select method ready to go. Let's go to, was that the select method or that's the insert method, excuse me. I have the select method here, insert method. This one's going to be a little bit different. The insert method, okay, we'll set the GUID ID in the context when we're setting up the call. You'll see. The update method, as soon as I find it, again, we're going to use the call. And DAL. Come down here, say update statements. And I probably want to say region update statements. Region's a keyword again if I wanted to do grouping, like logical grouping of things. Region and end region end each other. And they sit in the margins, or something's not right. Let's see, if I said, there we go. It didn't do the indenting because there's errors here. Alright, so for update, I'm passing in a C volunteer again. C volunteer, I've got, let's get rid of this comment. I don't care about that comment. The volunteer is going to be updated by vol ID, right? So it's going to find the first vol ID. I don't care about sample addresses. It's going to be TBL sample, TBL volunteers. And again, sample addresses, I'm not going to call it sample addresses. I'm going to call it volunteer without the forward underscore. Okay. It says if sample address is not null. In other words, if C volunteer is not null. In other words, there was something found in here. I was able to find that volunteer ID. I want to update all the columns. So let's go get rid of the columns that are out there. And I'm going to get my context back, so that's not a good sign. Let's see, TBL. Got that right. This is good, this is good. C volunteers context, TBL volunteers find that. So I have a volunteer. And if this is null, did I miss something over here when I cut and paste it? Nope, var sample addresses is this. And then within this, okay, we might have to do it our manual self here. So C volunteer. Let me make sure I got the direction of this right. There we go. Volunteer dot first name equals C volunteer first name, C volunteer vol middle name equals C volunteer vol middle name, C volunteer vol last name equals C volunteer vol last name, and then C volunteer active flag equals C volunteer active flag. And it's giving me a complaint because we're not commenting here. They should be semicolons. It's not a continuation. There we go. Control KD puts it all in alignment. Context save changes. My update statement's done. Save. Let's go back and find that delete statement again. Delete statement. We're going to delete the context. Steal this code. Up here I'm going to say region delete statements. And I'm going to say delete delete volunteer. Again, steal my domain model. Steal the volunteer. That's cool. This is cool. This comment's meaningless. Okay, I'm going to say volunteer to remove. Now what I have to do is find it. I have to find that volunteer based off a query. So it's going to go out and say from n in context.volunteers where n.addrid, no, or valid, is exactly equal to L sample addresses, no, C volunteers, dot vol ID. So what this does is it loads this object. Volunteer to remove will now have that object matching that vol ID sitting in that object. Then all I have to do is say context.tbl volunteers remove and remove this thing. This does the delete. Delete by entity, update by entity, insert by entity, list of entities. Last but not least, let's do some meaningful comments. To do comments, go to the beginning of the procedure, type the / 3 times, 1, 2, 3. It'll extract the parameters. It's up to you now to give it a meaningful, quick one-liner. We'll insert a record into volunteer table via sproc. Again, now these comments show up on the assembly when you compile. We'll update a given volunteer record by vol ID. And delete volunteer context. We'll do a soft delete. Make inactive by vol ID. Awesome. Looks good to me. Let's compile our DAL. Let's find it first. We build. Builds correctly. Now we're up to the BLL. If I go to the BLL, go to VT vol. In here, we're going to create a new class. We're going to call it SP volunteer BLL. And I really should get back into a habit of doing interfaces because it's so much easier to just say implement interface. But let's cut and paste the. This is sample address. I'm gonna get out of this. Let's cut and paste the whatchamacallits, the signatures from the DAL. Let's make our life a little bit easier. Here's VT volunteer. That's the EDMX. That's not what I want. I want to see. It's under volunteer. Okay. Signature 1. I'm getting this error because I don't have the using in there. Using volunteer dot domain models dot vt dot vol. That'll pick it up. Okay. First one. Now we're going to do the insert. Okay. We're going to do the update. And we're going to do the delete. Okay. Now, I'm going to call the DAL. First things first, you guys say public. All these guys are public classes. I hope I got this one. I did. Okay. I need to instantiate the DAL. I'm getting an error because I don't have it referenced. I have to say using volunteer dot data access layer dot vt dot vol. I'm able to instantiate that. DAL now, I want to say DAL for list of volunteers. List of volunteers, null. Actually, this list of volunteers doesn't pass over anything, so down the road we'll have another method to pass a particular user. Take that back, it's return that. Okay, there we go. So this one says DAL insert, and I'm passing over C volunteer. Need that. Done. The update. DAL update. C volunteer. Done. Delete. DAL. Delete. C volunteer. Done. The BL is done. I have the EDMX done. I had the DAL for volunteer done. I've got the BLL for volunteer done. I've got the domain model done. Let's do a build. Build the solution. All things passed. Why is this so important to do it this way? Watch this. I need to create a volunteer as I create a user, right? And how do I create a user? In the presentation, under account, under register user here, when a user is registered, there's a method called register user create user. What it's going to do is either this is called after or before, but I'm pretty sure it's called after the user is authentic or built into the database. Forms authentication set cookie. This is actually what logs the person in. So I've got register user, the username. I've got the continue page URL. Okay. At some point in here, I can get the membership user ID. So let's say system web security. I'm going to say created user. I'm going to say membership user equals get user. No. Membership get user. Okay, what is it not like? Okay, how about membership get user? Okay. Let me pause for 1 second. I don't want to run out of video. Let me pause. Sorry, I'm back. What I'm looking for is the membership user and membership. Membership user, I'm creating a new I'm creating what's called a membership user. I'm saying it's going to be called current user. The membership.get user will find the user that's currently logged on and set him in the get user. Okay. So again, top of the procedure, I'm going to, or I can do it right here in the register. I can say SP. We gotta call that method using volunteer dot business logic layer dot vt dot vol. Cool. And here I'm going to say sp vol bol equals new sp vol. There we go. Parentheses. Cool. So now if I said now if I said var new, oh, I gotta have the domain models. So I have the domain models. I don't. Using volunteer dot domain models dot vt dot vol. Down here, if I said var new volunteer domain model, and I said vol ID equals current user dot user ID. Current user dot I know it's available to me. I don't want to use username.